I'm coming in to buy this bag of crisps or chips, but I'm not actually going to pay you for them at the time that I'm picking them up off the shelf.
You, sir, are about to commit a crime.
There are companies that are not paying their vendors for up to a year later.
We will give you a purchase order when you give us a discount, as other vendors do in this market. No PO, no Dinero.
Typically, what companies like us will have to do is assume some kind of debt.
In order to save money for the business, they have to sacrifice relationships.
Imagine working for a company that you're constantly having to say, I know, sorry, it's awful.
I would say no. Are you crazy? What's wrong with you?
If people just take it because, well, it's a big contract and I want the big contract, if people just continue to take it, it's not going to get better. At a certain point, people will need to say no, otherwise it won't change. In this scenario, you're a shopkeeper at a little grocery store on the corner, and I'm coming in to buy a bag of chips. Oh, I guess you call them crisps, right?
Correct.
Nice. Okay, so I'm coming in to buy this bag of crisps or chips in your corner store, but I'm not actually going to pay you for them at the time that I'm picking them up off the shelf.
You, sir, are about to commit a crime.
Well, you would think so, but in the world of business, this is actually normal. It's actually normal. Here, I'm going to even open this up. So I'm opening the bag. Okay. And I'm going to eat one of these right now. Oh, they're not normally shaped. Anyway, but it says crisps on it, right?
All right. So they're more like sticks. Okay. So you're
I'm eating it right now.
In my shop.
In your shop.
My shop, eating my crisps.
That I haven't paid you for yet. And oh my gosh, it's a little stale. I'm not thrilled with the quality. So I haven't even paid you yet, but I'm going to actually ask you for a discount. Could I get these for half price?
Well, is there anything wrong with the crisps? Are they out of date?
They're stale. I just don't like the flavor. They taste a little stale to me. So, oh, and they're overly spicy too. Yeah, I'm not thrilled. So I'm going to continue eating them. I'll eat the rest of them, but I expect a discount. And so I'm asking you for that. But I'm also letting you know that I'm not even going to pay you for them. I'm going to finish the whole bag. So I'll eat the whole thing. And at that point, I will issue you a purchase order. And once I've issued you the purchase order for the chips that I've already consumed, you then will get to invoice me. Now, I might lose the invoice and you might have to send it again. That might take a week or two or a whole month for us to go through that process. And then I have 90-day payment terms. So I don't even have to pay you on that invoice for another 3 months. By the way, the chips are long gone. They're digested. They're gone. And you're not going to see any of that money for 3 to 6 months.
You know what else is gone? The staff I employed to be in the shop when you came in to buy them, the electricity I had to use. You know what else is gone is the money I spent acquiring the chips from the producer.
Right. All gone.
So It sounds like you stole from me, but in business terms, this is becoming the new normal.
A lot of companies are adopting long payment terms. And that is side by side with, see, I'm still chewing the chips. The long payment terms come side by side with late payments. So even when companies have a 60-day payment term cycle, oftentimes they don't pay on time. So that 3 months that you're going to wait to get paid for that bag of chips might turn into 6 months. There are companies that are not paying their vendors for up to a year later after fully consuming the product or service that they contracted. And this is, it's not nice. People don't like it. People complain about it, but it's not out of bounds in our world of business these days.
It has become the new norm in business. Anybody listening to this who is a small business will know exactly what we're talking about. And anybody who's running a big business might learn something. or might even have some compassion for how skewed this seems. I love this example you brought, Chuck. I like to use the example of buying an airplane ticket because I think in a way, and maybe this is part of what we should explore here, are we wrong for being upset about it? Or are we a little bit slow? Because maybe we should all be doing this. Maybe as consumers, as citizens, maybe we should all be trying this approach and see how it goes. Because I know when I buy a ticket for an airplane, I use my credit card to buy a ticket. I've paid for the service I'm about to use. Here's the new scenario. I book a ticket. I don't pay for it. I go to the airport. I use the lounge. I use the services. I get on my plane, drink their wines maybe, watch their movies, burn their jet fuel, get to the other end. And when I get off, I'm like, it was a bit warm in that cabin. I'd like a discount.
Yeah. But actually, while you're in the plane having the experience, you're going to ask for the discount, right?
Right. I don't
You're going to call over the flight attendant. Yeah.
I don't like the color of these cushions. I think before I issue you a purchase order, I would like a 10% discount on this flight, please.
The last flight I was on, they forgot my welcome drink. So, I mean, that's at least 20% right off the bill right there, right?
That is 20% at least.
Yeah. Yeah.
So gonna ask for a discount mid-flight. When I land, let's say I'm coming to see you. I land in LA. I get off. I promise a purchase order will be coming soon. And then,
but it doesn't. But it doesn't come soon. No.
So the airline follows up with me 2 or 3 times. Eventually, my procurement team gets involved, and they write to the airline and say, "Andrew didn't like the color of the chairs. We will give you a purchase order when you give us a discount, as other vendors do in this market. Kind regards."
Right. Now, you can't just send the invoice. I mean,
No, because there's no purchase order. So sorry.
Right.
No PO.
So without a purchase order,
no PO,
you can't send the invoice.
No PO, no Dinero.
Yeah. So you can't even ask for the money until they give you permission to ask for the money, which is what a purchase order is.
Yes. And you can only ask for permission to ask for the money with a purchase order after they've demanded a discount from you for something that you've previously agreed.
And a service that's been delivered already. Like the service is done. You can't. So this is part of the process too. And, we are vendors for services that are delivered by human beings. So we don't sell products. We sell services. And the standard for most companies is billing can't even begin until the service delivery is complete. So technically, if we have a 6-month training that we're delivering, month 1, we are getting paid nothing. Month 2, month 3, we go all the way through. We have to continue to deliver that program for all 6 months before we can begin the billing process. And even then, we're waiting for a purchase order. Meanwhile, we have trainers we have to pay. We have coaches we have to pay. We have human beings who are self-employed that we are paying for their services. So all this money is coming from us. We're not seeing any of that from our corporate clients for many months. It's hard.
It is hard. Now I want to bring back do you still have your bag of crisps in your hand? Okay.
Yes.
You have one bag. So imagine you buy 2 big boxes. Let's say you buy 150 bags.
Mm-hmm.
But you're only paying for them when you finish them.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It's kind of like your 6-month analogy.
Yeah.
Right.
Can't even begin that process until it's done, until the consumption is complete.
All right. So Chuck, we're in the humanizing business. Why? I mean, this is kind of tongue in cheek and also kind of grotesquely real for small businesses today. So why are we talking about this from a mindful business perspective?
Well, mindful business takes relationship into account. Mindful business, we're human beings doing business with other human beings. So if we're putting substantial financial strain on other human beings through our business practices, we should be aware of that and we should change our ways. Like, it is not okay for large multinational companies to put small vendors on 90-day payment terms, especially vendors like ours that deliver services. It's not okay. Because we're taking all that money out of our pockets to support the people that work for us. And we're not seeing any of that. So typically what companies like us will have to do is assume some kind of debt just to run our businesses, just to keep people paid. And what does the large company in the meantime sacrifice? Nothing. Nothing. They get to hold on to all that money. What is happening with all that money? It's probably earning interest somewhere. So
Actually,
yes,
there is something they're sacrificing,
yes,
but it's not good. Well, it's not good for people, but they are sacrificing their relationships with people
yes.
in exchange for a few basis points of interest over time. Now, of course, if you're running a finance department in a big multinational, that's going to make sense if you're doing that 25,000 times a day. Like, we get it. I think the call out here is, I'm pretty sure if anybody went digging around on any corporate website, you'd find something about supporting small businesses.
Oh yeah.
Inclusion, notwithstanding the geopolitical stuff in the US right now. But you would find something that says we invest in small communities, we invest in small businesses, and so on and so on. And I'm pretty sure, maybe we should do this as a research project. I'm pretty sure most multinationals have that buried somewhere on their websites. Or maybe not even buried. Maybe it's very front and center.
Well, we had to do this when we were qualifying for some of our corporate contracts. We had to prove that we were a small business. We were, we have our SBA credentials. So yeah, it's a real thing. We have to be that so that they can say that they're doing business with small businesses. They want to do business with small businesses. Yes.
We had to prove that we were a small business so that you could stuff us.
Yeah, basically. Right. Glad to hear you're a small business. Yes. We're small enough that you can't do anything about these payment terms. You're subject to them.
This may hurt, but don't worry too much. You are lucky to be able to work with us.
We're supposed to I think that's actually the attitude we're supposed to have. Thank you, kind sir, for giving us little guys a chance to do some work for you big company. Yes, we'll go ahead and go into debt just so that we can hopefully one day receive payment from you, but only when you feel like it.
It's very Oliver Twist.
I know it is. It is.
Sir, can I have another? Some more? Can I have another? So, all right, humanizing or dehumanizing the workplace.
This is the other piece of this. We're talking about the financial side of it because we've been in the middle of these conversations recently. We've been hit by some of these long payment terms by now at least two of our corporate clients. So this is part of it. But I think the other part of it is being a vendor to large companies also is not always a picnic. Like, payment terms aside, we have had a wide variety of experiences with our corporate clients. Sometimes they treat us beautifully. There are amazing examples of people going out of their way to make sure we have a great experience working for them. And then there's the opposite. There are companies where the person that we report to thinks of us as a bother, a problem that they have to solve, or someone that they have to dominate or abuse to show that they have some kind of power. So it's been quite unpleasant on some occasions, and then it's been inspiring in others. It's been everything.
Well, I do want to jump in and add a piece here. I think, goodness, you're right. I know there's several horror stories in our business past that I don't think we'll ever put into a recording. But here's what's great. You and I are super privileged. We've been doing this for long enough that we can borrow from Peter to pay Paul. The scenario of someone treating us like someone who needs to be bullied. I mean, these days those relationships quickly close. We're very lucky that we don't have to put up with them for a long time. I do want to also shout out that I think today everybody that we work with is fantastic. It's never the people that we're dealing with, because the people that we're dealing with are people who believe in the kinds of things that you and I talk about every day and the reason we go to work every day, right? We're dealing with people who care about people and want to help create shifts in the organization. There are people who work in departments behind those people that seem to have different perspectives. let's say, dehumanizing the workplace, I think is what's on the podcast they're listening to.
Well, and I'm going to say a very dirty word right now. I know we don't use profanity in this podcast, but I'm going to say one. Are you ready?
I'm going to brace myself.
Okay. Procurement. Yeah, I know.
And I'm sorry, because I know we have friends who work in procurement.
We do have friends who work in procurement, and it feels like a lot of the procurement people that we are dealing with these days are not primed for relationship. They're right.
Well, it's a tough ecosystem, right? I think they are, I would imagine, measured on how much money they can save the business. And so in order to save money for the business, they have to sacrifice relationships. And that's hard for small businesses who are trying to bring their skill and expertise to the company.
Well, you're being really nice about how you say it. Like, they have to sacrifice relationships, because that's what it feels like a lot of times when we're going back and forth with these procurement people. They're saying things like, we never pay this much for this service, and so you need to be in line with other vendors on this. I'm like, well, we're not delivering an identical service. Like, we're not delivering the same service as, let's say, an attorney or building maintenance, right? These are all services that are delivered, right?
What's the not nice way to say it?
Well, I think the not nice way would be that these people actually get acknowledged for destroying relationships. They get acknowledged for putting fear and pain into their vendors. It's
the prison experiment. I forget the name of it. That extraordinary prison experiment from, was it the 80s?
Oh yeah.
Random group of
Stanford.
people.
Yeah.
The Stanford one. There you go. It's a little like that, right? I get pleasure from creating pain over here. I have my powerful position, my nice desk. I probably have a little desk organizer.
Can you imagine?
Clock in and clock out,
Imagine the interview process for somebody in a procurement department. Like, how do you feel about inflicting pain?
On a scale of 1 to 10, how mean can you be? Can you go to a 12 when necessary?
Exactly. Like, does actually causing a vendor pain, does that actually give you a little pleasure? Come on, be honest.
Can you imagine the Google prep for this? Like, how do I get a job in procurement? It's like, well, when they ask you what's your greatest weakness, you say compassion, kindness. Being a nice person is my greatest weakness.
Human connection.
Right. What is your strength?
You don't want it. Never mind.
Devastating small business owners.
Yeah, exactly. My strength is creating misery for people who are not going to give me a discount. So they're typically squeezing us. They're drawing out the procurement process. Oftentimes what that creates is tight deadlines for us. So because we've spent so much time in contract negotiation and procurement, we have less time to actually create and deliver. So we're usually having to rush those things. It just sucks for everybody.
Well, it's extraordinarily inefficient. And I think if I'm a shareholder of a big company, I'm going to want, the CEO and the executive committee to be efficient, obviously, right? And then you have these things which just slow everything down.
So ideally what we would see is an everybody wins mindset. And I think a lot, to their credit, a lot of the people that we're directly interfacing with and a lot of these companies are looking for an everybody wins kind of scenario, but they're constrained by how their business operates. So I think most of the people who we're dealing with directly are not on board with 90-day payment terms. They're horrified and they're apologetic. Imagine working for a company that you're constantly having to say, I know, sorry, it's awful. Like, imagine that, right?
Yeah. And this is, I have to say, like, this is where I am cheered by the kind of people that we're working with today, because I think without any exception with our corporate clients today, our counterparts are horrified, embarrassed, apologetic. I'm grateful for that. I really, really am. I don't know how we shift this conversation, but I feel like it's inefficient for the business. It's inefficient for vendors. Vendors end up you know, having like strategizing. So I'm gonna, all right, well, if this product or this service is worth 1,000, then I better sell it. I better pitch it at 1,500 so that when I get the inevitable request 2 months later to discount it,
Right.
I can give them a discount and they feel good about it. And like, that's all makes total sense. And it's incredibly inefficient.
Well, yeah. And what you're talking about is a scenario where their attempts to drive prices down actually have the opposite effect and drive the prices up.
Right.
Because we have to charge more. So, for example, we're charging more in some cases to compensate for the extended payment terms.
Well, yeah,
Like
because
we have to fund it.
We become
Yeah.
trade finance. Actually, Chuck, we should put that on our website. We do leadership development, we do coaching, we do training, and we also do trade finance, where we carry debt for large multinationals who are paying small businesses. Yeah, right. Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So in effect, we are doing it, right?
We offer 90-day debt terms for large companies who don't know how to pay their bills, or actually, they do know how to. They just choose not to.
Well,
And I think that's the thing.
Yeah.
Sorry,
Yeah.
got me on a rant now, but
Yeah.
I think some companies have done it for a long time. Most companies have gone from 30 to 45 to 60 to 90 in less than 3 years.
Imagine being in that first meeting where somebody thought of 90-day payment terms, because it didn't exist, right? It didn't exist for a long time. No one would, like, people would have been like, there's no, right? And then suddenly someone in some meeting says, I know, we extend our payment terms to 90 days. And everybody else in the meeting is like, no, you can't. You couldn't.
Yes.
No, there's no way. Yes. And that person is now, like, a billionaire. They've written books. Right.
They've written books on how to damage communities. So here's a question. When will we see the first 120-day payment term? And what will we do when it shows up?
Apparently, some industries already have that.
Oh, I could imagine. I haven't seen it in services, though. Have you?
Not in services. But for shipping companies, manufacturing companies, there are such things as 6-month payment terms. There are 1-year payment terms. Yeah.
I'm never going to be a fan of this, but I would imagine if you're in an industry where, you're pumping out widgets every day, you're doing the same thing. I could sort of imagine that. I think with services, it's so ad hoc that it just feels like it's more challenging. But let me ask you this. Mr. 50% of Mindful. If tomorrow we get a request from a new client for 120-day payment terms,
yeah,
what do you do? It's a good deal. I mean, it's not a good deal. It's a good piece of business. It's right up our Mindful business street. We could do some cool work. 120-day terms.
Mm-hmm. What do we do? Well, I think there are a couple of options. One is we could just refuse. We could say, we would love to work with you, and this is immoral. We don't align with it. It's the same as if you were a cigarette company, we probably wouldn't work for you. So we're not in. Sorry. We could do that.
Why not? Sorry. Okay. Yeah, right. So we could say no. All right.
Yes, we could. We could also say, for payment terms like that, we have different pricing. And so basically we bump up the price. One, to fund ourselves through whatever we're going to need to do to make that work, because we will probably have to take on some debt to make that happen. So we fund it by raising our prices. We would have to. I think that would be the alternative. But we don't go just, yes, thank you for the work. We'll see. Hopefully, we'll see money in 6 to 9 months. We're excited about that. I wouldn't do that, because those same companies that are asking for long payment terms are also going to wait until the service delivery is complete before they want to issue a PO. So some of these things, we may not see money for a year or more. I mean, that's how crazy this has gotten. So we would need to inflict some level of pain just to make it worth our while.
Very measured response.
What would you do?
I'd say no.
Let's hear the unmeasured. You just say no?
I would say no. Are you crazy? What's
go
wrong
jump
with
in
you?
a lake. Yeah, exactly. Well,
lake
we
over there.
We could.
I would want to have the conversation with them. I would definitely want to have the conversation. I know that, one of our clients went to 90 days without warning, and that was hard because we had a very high volume. We had a lot of people to pay regularly. That 90 days, I think in the beginning, I think we waited 4 months, but we had 4 months of 10 people working regular. I don't know what, it was crazy. But I remember, to their credit, when we raised it, our wonderful counterparts went and found someone who knew that there was a loophole somewhere for small businesses, and we got down to 45. I loved that. I thought everybody can do that. And I know that with another client, we asked them if there was something similar, and they basically told us, hey, the lake's over there. So I think, honestly, joking aside, my instinct would be just to say no. It's actually out of alignment with us from a mindful business perspective. This is not mindful. This is hurtful. It does no good to anybody. Late payments hurt companies. I don't see any value in this, but we can have a conversation about it. And maybe the solution that you mentioned, I think, is a great one. And I think it's probably where most small businesses are going to go. I'll charge you X for 40 days or 60 days or whatever, and I'll charge you. You want 90? It'll cost you.
I think you've come up with a new division for our company, which is the Hurtful Business Alliance.
Oh, we could have so much fun with that.
Right? I think we could.
Record things. This is how you hurt people.
But I think what you're pointing to is actually, it is a future direction that probably we need, which is because right now, this will continue to go on, and it will continue to get worse until enough companies say no. And if people just take it because, well, it's a big contract and I want the big contract, if people just continue to take it, it's not going to get better. At a certain point, people will need to say no. Otherwise, it won't change.
I think that more and more people are talking about it, which is kind of why it feels important to be doing this topic today. We're being playful and jokey, but also the future of small businesses will depend on people coming together and actually having a voice about this. And I was going to say, I'm inspired by something you shared with me just recently. I think it's from the UK, but it's a late and slow watch list, and companies are actually being named. And I think that's fantastic.
Naming and shaming. Yes, that is a way to do it.
Not that I believe that shame is a good way to motivate people, but sometimes it's kind of all you've got. And I think it would be great if more and more of us could kind of have a collective and shared voice on these things, so that we could start to change that conversation. Because I know you and I are lucky because we've been in business for a long time. We can manage this. But new companies might struggle.
So it's called goodbusinesspays.com. And for those of us who are interested, you can go on and see they have an annual watch list for late and slow payments and which companies are doing that. And again, it's out of the UK. So, I didn't see any of our clients on the list, but I think this should happen in more places. More companies should get called out for this kind of behavior, because it does inflict a lot of pain. And we're not the Hurtful Business Alliance.
No, and we're not against our clients being successful. If they're successful, we can also be successful. But it just feels a little wonky when companies are successful at the expense of vendors who are trying to help them. That feels like something that we could realign. So
let's make sure everybody wins.
Let's make sure everybody wins. It's been fun being in this conversation with you, Chuck. What a great topic.
Absolutely. All right. Until next time, everybody stay safe,
stay kind,
and stay human.